Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me, as always, by my sides, introducing first, he is a crazy-eyed son of a bitch with maybe some toxic traits, maybe not, the one, the only, Mr. Robert Davis. How are you, Roberto?
I'm good, sir. Ready. I think I'll provide the disclaimer now. Mrs. Nicola's mom, if you're watching, please be warned about what is about to happen in the next hour.
There's going to be a lot to say, and so
hope you're doing well, by the way.
Of course. Shout out to Mrs. McDonald. What's up, girl? Get on that Venga bus. Hello. So, and also taking us through this entire hour of comedy and whatnot, and as a woman who also has a lot to say, oh my goodness, the one and only Miss Nicola McDonald, the Demoness. How are you, Nicola?
Hello, and hi, Mom. Sorry. Not really, but whatever. I love you, really.
So
I'm good. I'm good.
So with today's topic, folks, there's going to be some good in this because of the talent that is in today's form, but we're going to be talking about the one and only Miss Tessa Blanchard. And well, from her TNA tenure, from her match at All In, we're going to cover it all. But as far as Tessa Blanchard goes, let's start it off very most recently, as there have been rumblings, if you will, about TNA having some preliminary talks with bringing Tessa Blanchard back into the company.
And I mean, they would, with the unfortunate situation with Scott D'Amore.
Right.
Of course, they would do anything to, fuck up what TNA is. They had such a good, strong comeback show. Everything was looking great. Everybody was pumped.
Mm-hmm.
And then that just goes fucking to the left.
See you later, Scott.
Yeah. And you just want to make it worse.
Are they high? That's the only answer I got to that. Are they all high?
Is the Owl Man still in charge?
Oh my Lord. Well, here's my thing with that. And I go with this. Like, again, we've talked about her talents. There's no denying that. But it's just like with how she exited, and we'll talk about it here, 4 years ago. And now the only place that she's really being booked is CMLL. and you want to bring that drama back into your company for the Knockouts division, the World Heavyweight title division, the Digital Media Championship division. I don't know, but I mean, if they were to bring her back, who are they going to put it with? Jordan Grace? I mean, you can put her in there with Masha Slamovich. You can put her in there with Rosemary. There's so many possibilities.
Hell no.
See,
no,
all right.
No. Fuck that. No.
All right, fair enough.
She'd end up freaking in the grave before she even got there. No.
Keep her away from the demons.
Keep her away from
the demons. Keep her away from our demon mother. Trust me. Wouldn't them good for her.
Fair enough. But
literally.
Fair enough, but I mean, no worries. I look at it like this. No, I do. I even said this when she was tagging AEW because AEW in the CML division. Tony. I know you want to bring in everybody, bro. You want to bring in Nikki Bella. I'd be open to having Nikki Bella. I know you would be happy to have Nikki Bella, but for the love of God, do not sign that woman. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I know when after the whole thing with TNA, there was some rumblings of her possibly being picked up with AEW, and I noticed they kind of went radio silent on that, and thank God that they did. But even NXT wouldn't touch her. Nobody would.
Okay, so here's my thing. We'll actually start it off like this because Roberto gave a great point here. We'll go backwards in time here, but it's around the same time period. So for those that remember 2018, as Roberto just brought up here with AEW, 2018 saw the debut of All In, which the match that she is known for in that Fatal 4-Way match, it was Tessa Blanchard with Tully, Madison Rayne, Chelsea Green, and DMD herself, Dr. Britt Baker, which Tessa won. Now, I want to start with you, Roberto. What were your thoughts on that match? And as well, did you think Tessa would be around in AEW at that time with how hot she was also coming off from the TNA
run? It's really hard to, be unbiased about this, but I wasn't surprised that she did win because I know it wasn't going to be Madison. I was almost sure Chelsea was going to WWE, and really surprised that DMD didn't take it. But at the same time, they gave a little bit more presentation to Tessa because, and I don't remember, did Tully come out with her?
Yeah, Tully was with her at the
Yeah,
time.
Tully was with her, and her Magnum TA came out too.
Magnum TA, you go down. Yep.
Yeah. So they kind of gave her a little more shine. So it was just kind of like, maybe she's coming on, maybe she's not, and she didn't, thankfully. But it was a weird time.
We'll start with you on Nicola this as well, because after this, Chelsea Green would go on to do some Lucha Underground appearances, then sign with WWE. Britt Baker would become an AEW pillar. Madison Rayne would do Madison Rayne things, and for this,
so
we're not a fan of her either.
I know. We'll get to her in one of our future episodes. But Nicola, in the present time, what were your thoughts on that match and Tessa getting the win at AEW All In, the inaugural All In?
I think I was still pissed off from the backlash of TNA. So to me, by that point, it was like, no, you fucked up. I don't care what you do now. So it was kind of like, I didn't think she deserved to win it. Not in the slightest. It should have been Dog Spirit Baker. She should have won that. But for some reason, Mrs. High Almighty had to get it again. So, yeah, no, I didn't think it was good. But we knew what Chelsea was going to do. And I'm still a massive fan of Chelsea. So that'll never change. Her crazy antics was always funny to me and still are what she's doing now. But as far as Tessa goes, no. Nope.
All right. Well, I will say this. I cannot do the great Chelsea Green like Samantha Irvin does. My goodness, that woman. But no, I think the trajectory of where Tessa Blanchard was in 2018 was really solidified with what her debut was in TNA. But before we get to that, backtracking it, she did make some WWE appearances. She wrestled on NXT, I believe, as well against Nia Jax and Carmella. She did some enhancement talent work. But what really became her big break that we saw around that time period was a little tournament called the Mae Young Classic. She was one of the first eliminated, but a very memorable match with Kairi Sane, who would go on to win the Mae Young Classic. The great Kairi Sane, yes, sir. But around this time, everybody was rumbling, is she going to be with WWE? The match everybody wanted to see was Horsewoman of Tessa Blanchard, the daughter of Tully Blanchard, against Charlotte Flair. Woo, 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 with the father of Ric Flair. Want to see my dick? So that particular time period, woo, woo energy, woo, woo, woo. So we had that particular time period manifesting that into the universe, right? So for me, also around this time, what were your thoughts, Robert Davis? And I'll start with you once more, and then we'll get to the lady over here, Miss Nicola McDonald. Tessa Blanchard, WWE, go ahead.
You know, personally, I thought WWE would have been the best place for her, considering the lineage that she does have. You know, ultimately to get that match of Charlotte versus Tessa, I think would have been a big deal. You know, just all things considering. You know, there's still a part of me that even thinks that if you know, she can get her shit together, and hopefully she does. But NXT, I think, would be a good place for her if she can get her shit together.
I think in today's day and age, if she was to go in NXT, especially with the landscape of WWE changing, I think she'd do very well. TNA, what have you. But I think at this particular time period, and I even think WWE said at the time she was very immature in how she acted around that time period. And we'll get to one of the reasons why, my goodness. But Nicola McDonald, what were your thoughts on the WWE rumblings of Tessa Blanchard at that time and her match with Kairi Sane in the Mae Young Classic?
I liked her in the Mae Young Classic, even though, like I said, I didn't dislike her at one point. Like, it just changed like everything does with me. It's like the weather, it's a yes or no kind of thing. But yeah, no, I thought she was good then. But like you said, her attitude stunk, and the way she acted like she was bigger than everything else is not an attitude to have, I guess, especially not in wrestling. Especially from who her dad was as well. You'd be a bit more cautious, maybe. I don't know how that works in that sense, but she's a dickhead.
I think of it like this. So around this time period,
she needs a cheeky Nando's. That's what she needs.
Hey, cheeky Nando's,
bruv.
Hashtag cheeky Nando's.
So around this time period as well, we mentioned Samantha Irvin, who is now dating Ricochet.
Yeah.
But well, Ricochet and Tessa Blanchard were a thing back in the day, folks. So as I pull this up, we are going to read this.
Wait, what?
Yes, they were a thing. So here we go. This was an article from Wrestle Talk back in the day. Tessa Blanchard denies WWE Performance Center fight with ex-boyfriend Ricochet. So they asked her about this incident. So here's what happened. Various sites reported that Blanchard was not signed by WWE in 2017 because of attitude problems and an incident with her ex-boyfriend Ricochet that resulted in her getting kicked out of the Performance Center. However, Tessa has shot down this rumor. I really don't know where that story started, but it's a bit humorous. As cool as it would have been to have working out at the PSC after the Mae Young Classic and create some scene with my ex, I wasn't there, and it never happened. The reason for me and then she goes into Impact, but the main thing is I wanted to read from that was she was never there. It didn't happen. Who is this? What's going on? So I want to get your thoughts, Robert Davis, on the fact that, hey, man, I wasn't there. It was not me who had a little thing at the Performance Center. Go ahead,
man. What do you say to that? It's just like it's already been reported she had attitude problems.
Right.
There's all these other issues that are starting to come to surface with that, and I guess the best way to kind of take the headway off of it is I wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
You didn't see me. You can't see me. John Cena to this bitch.
I'll make an older reference. It was like the British Bulldog. I wasn't even there. Now we get to you, Nicola McDonald, with the fact that it already starts with me because you were shocked that Ricochet and Tessa Blanchard were a thing back in the day. You didn't even know that. But what are your thoughts on this altercation?
He's clearly got taste if he's with someone as amazing as he is with now. So yeah, clearly, he got the better hand of that deal by going, yeah, see you later. I did not know that, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But she reminds me of, like, there's a saying in films and stuff where it wasn't me, it was a blue-eyed man. That catchphrase is literally Tessa saying, oh, it wasn't me, it was him. The Invisible Man said, oh, fuck off. I wasn't there. Okay, yeah, just like I'm not haunting people on a day-to-day basis. I believe you.
She played the fugitive role. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
That's it. Yeah, the one-armed man. Or in our case, I say the Invisible Man.
Yes,
see me, you can't see me, as he just said.
Cheeky Nando's for you.
Nando's for you. So from we can get from the female side of things here, folks, is pretty much what Nicola's saying is Ricochet leveled up is what he did. He leveled up on the women's side of things.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. She's gorgeous. As if she's so cute.
Oh my goodness. Ricochet, you pimp. He goes from Tessa Blanchard to friggin' Casey Catanzaro, aka Katana Chance, and now here she is with Samantha Irvin. You go, Ricochet. Let's give a shout out to that. Yeah.
Yep, you get 100%, mate.
That's a clap right there.
Totally up to it.
So we go from WWE and attitude problems, and I wasn't that, to somewhere where she was, and that is Total Nonstop Action Wrestling in 2018. So, man, I remember watching Rebellion, and the matchup at the time was a new talent in TNA called Taya Valkyrie, before she was La Mera Loca. La Mera Loca, against Kiera Hogan, who was a white meat babyface at the time, making her debut.
Another legend.
Yes, and we go to Rebellion, and here comes Tessa Blanchard's son of a gun ass on commentary. And I'm like, this is how you have her make your debut. She's on commentary. I'm the newest member of the Knockouts. I'm coming after the Knockouts. So, Nicola, we'll start with you, my knockout over here. What were your thoughts on Taya Valkyrie and Kiera Hogan into that? And we saw the debut of Tessa Blanchard. I'm here, bitch, on commentary.
So this is when I actually... All right, that sucks that they put her on commentary for her first, appearance, to be fair. That's kind of, really, really, really... shit in that prospect, but I was kind of excited because it was like someone new, like always with someone new, or in my case I hadn't heard of her before that because I was only into TNA, as we all know, for a long time. So it's only now I watch everything else. But I did like the fact that she was coming in. But as far as Kiera and Tara, did I say that right? My brain's gone to shit. Yeah, them two were legends, and then obviously she's standing there. Yeah, it was cool to see her come in, and I did like her, like I said, to start with. But yeah, things change. But she's just no slap. No, that's being nice, considering what time in the morning this is for me. That's being nice.
Roberto, Tessa Blanchard makes that jump to TNA. Your thoughts, sir?
You know what? I was kind of in the same boat with Nicola. It's just like, okay, cool, she's here. Blanchard, that's a very prominent last name in the wrestling world. So, Let's see what happens. Well, we saw what happened.
Let me just say this with him, Mr. Blanchard over here, and talking just about his roots and his overall ruts, if you will, talking about the great legendary wrestling of the Carolinas and everything from WCW, NWA, and Crockett, and everything Jim Crockett Promotions. I got to say this, it's funny. My first introduction to Tessa, she did a show here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, live from Myrtle Beach at the time. I believe the promoter was Greg Price. She was on the card. The Wolves, Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards were on the card. It only lasted for like a couple events, and I remember seeing her live, and I'm like, all right, she's not bad. Let's see where this goes. And then the Mae Young Classic, and then Here Now. And I think I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. Obviously, they're bringing in a talent who has been on the indies, who has some WWE, stature for the short amount of time she was there. But then we go from Kiera Hogan and Taya's match and her being on commentary. Her first big feud in TNA, folks, Allie. She goes on to Allie in 2018, and she gets a victory over Allie at Slammiversary. One of TNA's biggest events of the years in 2018. I could already hear that from Nicola McDonald selling like she's on the
It's
back.
gonna turn into a man hit.
So we go from selling like Sasha Banks into the back in the darkness to so Nicola, what were your thoughts on Tessa and Allie's feud and the match going into Slammiversary?
Yeah, as you put it.
There we go.
Okay, no, obviously Allie I love to pieces. Allie is Demon Bunny, or she wasn't at that point, I don't think. I think she was just Allie, but at the same time, no, you don't mess with the Allie. And the fact that it was against Allie, why? Her in particular. Why couldn't it have been someone like Allie could have kicked her ass? Without a doubt. But for some reason, again, she won because she's a new star and they have to always put the new person up before everyone else. Fuck, the rest have been there for years on end, but we'll just put you first. Like they do in many other companies, as we've noticed recently and backwards. But Ali should have fucking destroyed her. But yeah, there to Tessa.
Roberto, you have the new heel of the company against one of the white meat hot baby faces at the time, Allie. Your thoughts?
She was no heel.
Tessa Blanchard was
that weren't a fucking heel. She weren't no fucking heel.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bitch. Yes.
You suck my yeah.
You suck my balls.
Hold on, I gotta get it in. Suck my dick from the back. No, Chris.
No, Chris. We don't do that here, Chris.
We don't do that here, Chris. Stop stealing Codan's lines, essay. Toss the salad. Go ahead.
I personally, I always hate to see the babyface lose. And Allie was like the ultimate babyface at the time. There's always this thought of when these second and third generation wrestlers come in, the nepotism talks or whatever. So I don't really know what the chatter was at this time, but it's just like, oh yeah, she's got that last name. Of course she's gonna get a push. Of course she's gonna win in her first match. Of course she's gonna probably get a title shot fucking tomorrow. I don't know. But it was just like, I mean, the kind of anticipation kind of died for me at that moment when she won that match. I was just like, all right, yeah, okay, I knew that was gonna happen. Let's see where we go.
It reminds me of, and I'll make WWE under the previous regime, pal, when they would bring in talents from OVW in like 2005. And God rest his soul, Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch, they won tag team titles like they just came up, and like 3 weeks later they were the tag team champions. Like when the Spirit Squad and Kenny and Mikey and Dolph Ziggler, Nikki and all of them, and then all of a sudden they're the tag champs within like a few months. That was how they did it. It's like you come up from developmental or you come from a different company and boom, here you are. And this was no different with Tessa at the time. But then it gets better because Tessa wins a triple threat match against Su Yung and Allie and becomes the new Knockouts champion, everybody. And well, Tessa, only a few months into her run, becomes the Knockout champion. and her first really big feud for the Knockouts Championship was with La Huera Loca herself, Taya Valkyrie, which then turns Taya Valkyrie babyface and leads to that feud, and then ultimately Taya winning the Knockouts Championship from Tessa Blanchard. So I want to ask you, and Roberto, I'll start with you on this one because I know you're a La Huera Loca fan as well as Miss Nicola. But Roberto, La Huera Loca, Taya Valkyrie, we go from the transition from heel to babyface, Tessa Blanchard's the champ. What are your thoughts?
I was happy to see Tessa lose. I was even happier to see Taya win. That was it, but it was a good match too. Those two definitely put on a good match, and you're going to get a good match with those two. I thought it was an awesome match, and I thought it was even better that Tessa lost.
Nicola, go ahead.
I agree with him. I was just happy that she lost because she should have lost fucking everything all the time. But no, but like you said, and you both said it, we all have, that the only reason she got as far as she did was because she has the name above her. And it was like you said, you give her the little kick because, she's so-and-so's daughter or whatever. But she wasn't, she was not ever going to beat Tessa. I mean, no.
No, Taya.
Taya.
Ignore me. Sorry.
Taya.
Apologies, my words stumbled then. Never mind, it happens sometimes with me.
It's only 2:30 in the morning in the UK. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
It's all right. I love you guys, you know that, and I'll always stay up for them.
We love you too.
Oh, I know. I know. Or I'll kill you if you didn't. No, I'm joking.
She's not joking, people.
She's not at all.
No, she's not.
No.
Not in the slightest.
Okay.
Every fucking show. Anyway, sorry. I was just glad she lost. And she was never going to beat Taya. Never, not in the long run. And I forgot about the Sue Young and Ali thing because I was like, what? And then, it came back to me.
The two people that you like that lost.
People that lost to Tessa.
You fucking hate to see it.
You do.
Oh, well, yeah, I do. What a fucker. You don't fuck with demons. And they did. And she's like, No, that was a bad day for them. But trust me, I guarantee they got her another time.
So here's my thing on that. So
out of the ring.
Yeah.
In her dreams. As people could do them things.
Somebody put on some Raquel. In a dream, my love, you will find my heart. So we go.
I'm in possession, but we'll go with that.
Yeah. We go from Tessa being Knockouts champ, beating Sue Young, beating Ali, beating Taya Valkyrie until Taya Valkyrie wins the championship. But in between time, folks, we had another feud, and she feuded with a veteran, and her name was Gail Kim, and she went into Robert Irvine's kitchen, goddammit, and she beat the holy fuck out of Robert Irvine, and she said,
I remember that.
Fuck you, bitch. And it led to a match which Tessa won, and she beats Gail Kim. And Tessa is over the moon. She's the future. Gail Kim, they hug. It's all gravy. Tessa's a baby face now, folks. She is the baby face, the ultimate baby face. The torch has been passed. Gail Kim said, here you go. I'm out this bitch. I'll start with you on this one, Roberto, because Gail Kim, from her WWE tenure to her legendary matches in the Knockouts division, her TNA run is synonymous with greatness. What were your thoughts on Tessa and Gail Kim? Gail Kim passed the torch. Go.
I as much as I hated it, I think that was definitely the right call. Robert Irvine makes some fantastic protein bars. They are really good. If you've never eaten one, go try one. Gail Kim, like what can you say about Gail Kim? What
legend?
Yeah, there's so much you can say. Not so much what can you say. As much as I hated it, it was the right call. And we know what happens next. So
we're getting there. So
the whole reason that I have anger management issues when it comes to talking about this person in particular.
Tessa and Gail Kim, the Hall of Famer Gail Kim puts over that young go hard Tessa Blanchard. Your thoughts?
So with Gail Kim, I've always loved the fact that she has passed the torch to someone else. Like it was Jade. My bad. When she did it with Jade, and then obviously then she did it with her. that was the only time that I wasn't angry about it because I thought it was quite cool because she was actually doing something. As much as I dislike her now, I did think she was pretty cool at that point to be put like past that, talked whatever. But other than that, yeah, whatever, boring. Move on.
Gail Kim always had the knockout's best interests at heart.
Yeah, she did.
So she was the decisions that she made. I want to say 99, 100% of the time they were the right ones.
She actually kept it afloat a lot of the time. I think she's the
I
one
think she
mainly
did.
like the voice. Yeah, she was like the voice in the backstage and everything that was keeping them all
She's
grounded,
running.
so to
Is
speak.
she still running it?
Yeah, she's in like one of the prominent
Yeah, she's still
positions, like
there.
backstage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well,
I'm really lucky. I've got to see her in person, so I've not met her, but I've seen her live at TNA shows, and it was one of the best things I'd ever seen. To be fair, her in like literally in the ring and actually seeing her still perform. Yeah,
No,
she's still mad badass,
I'm
big
right
time.
there with you because it's like with Gail Kim, and I'll mention her briefly. It's like her WWE tenure, the first go around was short, but she did have some memorable moments. The second run, okay, let's put it like this. When you literally are like, fuck this shit, I'm out, and you just eliminate yourself and walk out the ring in a battle royal because you were fucking sick of being here and you're thinking, okay, this is my second run, it'll be better than the first one. Nope, I'm out of this bitch. And she went right back to TNA right after that, and she was like, I hate it here. And that was it for Gail Kim's second run. But throughout her career, she's always been very outspoken, very blunt, very honest.
Yep.
And like you mentioned, had the best interest at heart. And well,
Yeah.
I'm going to get to the heart of the matter here, to put it in the bluntest of terms, because the year is 2019. Before we get to where we're going to get to, in between time, after Gail Kim, Tessa Blanchard kind of takes over the spot where Scarlett Bordeaux was after she left, because she's taken over and she's wrestling Disco fucking Inferno because he's feuding with the Knockouts and his intergender hating ass. So Disco Inferno,
he was another dickhead. He shouldn't have been doing that.
with his disco fever loving ass.
Oh yeah, woo.
Woo. And so we get that involvement, and Tessa beats Disco Inferno. And then she starts getting into more intergender matches. I mean, she's been in there with Jordan Grace. Like, we love the fact that she's had those matches, and shout out and much love to Jordan Grace, who's been holding it down in the Knockouts division in her Rumble appearance. But Tessa then goes into her feud with Sami Callihan, OVE Ohio versus everything. So thumbs down. Tessa Blanchard, you want to challenge me at Slammiversary? Well, fine. And then that whole nine, and so we get that match.
I have got a lot to say on that.
All right, well, yeah. All right, so Tessa Blanchard and Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan gets the win with the Cactus Special. Bang, bang! Sami Callihan with the pile drive on Tessa for the win. We'll start with Nicola because she's got a lot to say. She's about to speak her truth, as the kids say.
Oh, God.
Nicola, Tessa, Sami, go.
You watch us get removed from the channel now. We haven't done this for ages. First time we do, it's me spatting my mouth off about something. But
speak
whatever.
Your truth, man.
Hey, I hope your internet stays healthy.
Yeah, like every fucking time. Oh shit! Right. When that all first started happening, I was like, "Are they fucking crazy?" And I love Sami, so no matter what, my head, I was cheering when he won because she should not have even got in the ring with him in the first place. He's dangerous. He's crazy. He's fucked up. Obviously, he's professional, but he weren't worth her time because everyone knew from the beginning. As soon as they started to fight, it was like Sami's going to beat the crap out of her, and he did, and he won. And I'm sorry to say, but I cheered. But there should not have been a match between them in the first place. I never understood what the fuck, why that was going on, why she had it in, like, why. I get they were doing the agenda thing or whatever you want to call it, the whatever. And yeah, but she, I don't know. It just seemed like she could always get what she wanted. Like, I want this, snap, it's yours.
I kind of
basically put her in the ground.
I kind of felt I kind of felt the same way. Like, in the front of my mind, I was just like, "What the fuck are they doing? What is this bitch doing? Like, Sami's gonna fucking kill you." But in the back of my mind, it's just like, Sami, kill this bitch dead. Like, kill her, please. It was really like a conflict of interest in my own head because I'm just like, Okay, cool.
And we all know it's not safe in our heads.
No, absolutely not. Intergender matches are cool. If you
Yeah.
look at some stuff like from PWG and shout out to Candice LeRae and all the batshit crazy things that she did in PWG. If you don't know, you got to go find out. But then there's this kind of like, damn, like Sammy's gonna kill you, like literally kill you. And then it's just like, I hope he fucking does. And he kind of did. So
he did. Also, I know there's a match between him, another intergender match between Sami Callihan and Su Yung, and I've seen that match, and it was fucking emotional match because they both went OTT. So comparing that to him versus Tessa, that wins hands down all day long because that was more memorable. Whereas that was just a no disrespect to Sammy, we love you, trust me, 100% love you, but screw that other bitch. I'm so glad you hit her and beat her up.
Has Sammy ever wrestled Havoc? Has Sammy ever wrestled Havoc?
His girl?
What, his own fiance? I don't know.
I think that would be absolutely bonkers.
I think
Havoc would actually beat the crap out of him, to be fair.
Yeah.
So it's funny you mentioned intergender wrestling because this was a topic that was a debate at the time. Like, oh, they're having Tessa against the women, men and women. Intergender wrestling has been a thing for many years. Like Robert said,
I actually love intergender wrestling.
Me too.
I think it's cool to watch males versus female. I think, even though obviously in reality, obviously not, but in the wrestling world, yeah, fuck it, why not?
Well, like Robert said,
it's brilliant to watch them doing it.
Like Robert said, Candice LeRae against a man. Well, we'll mention it here just because this did happen. So one of the big things that did happen around this time period as well. So there was a little pay-per-view called United We Stand during WrestleMania weekend for TNA Impact at the time. Tessa Blanchard was supposed to take on Eli Drake, now L.A. Knight. Yeah. And Eli Drake said, Dummy. Yeah. Don't get lost in the sauce. That's just not an insult, it's just a fact of life. So Eli Drake was asked about this, like, why did you not want to wrestle Tessa Blanchard?
Yeah, I remember this.
And he was just like, I have no problem with her, but it's like, I don't think that would be a good investment for me and my character and what I'm doing. Like, he was very blunt and honest. He wasn't disrespectful. He doesn't have anything against intergender wrestling. So what they did was the replacement for Eli Drake was the one and only former member of that 70s team in Wrestling Society X, Mr. PWG himself, Mr. Dick Slam, Mr. Joey Ryan, and his Catholic boy. I didn't do it. I swear it wasn't me. It's all of them. I'm the victim here. So you had Tessa Blanchard and Joey
Ryan. That dude.
Man. Talk about birds of a feather, though.
It's very apropos that we mentioned this match.
It wasn't me. I wasn't there.
I wasn't there. I'm not a victim.
I wasn't
there. I'm not a victim.
Invisible Man again.
Good.
There you go.
So you had that match happen, and then more intergender stuff happened. Tessa Blanchard would go on to beat Brian Cage. All right. And then Tessa Blanchard.
That's the weirdest shit in the world.
I know.
That was another one of them. Why the fuck are they making her have this match against Brian Cage when Brian Cage again could clearly destroy her in like literally just by sitting on her?
Well,
somebody didn't oil the machine that day. So that's what I'm going to chalk it up.
I didn't get enough of my shit in, is what happened. That's
Hang on, don't you mean he hurt his back again? Didn't he hurt his back off a skateboard or something? That's why it fucked up. Or was that years after? I don't remember. He gets injured a lot in TNA anyway.
Jesus. So after that, because again, we go from Sami Callihan wins the World Heavyweight Championship by beating Brian Cage in a steel cage, and then Tessa's like, I'm back, bitch. I want the championship. I want the title. I said. And
she wants the title.
Title.
And then we get to Bound for Glory, and she's going for the X Division Championship, which was won by Nico's favorite wrestler in the world, Ace Austin.
Has he still got a house? Just wondering. Asking for a friend,
baby.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, just asking for a friend. I still get blamed for burning his house down, but it weren't me.
A demon friend.
Was it me? I said
my demon friend. It was a demon friend.
So Tessa's in the mix.
Sorry,
no, you're fine. Tessa's in the mix, and then we get the Hard to Kill, and Sami Callihan puts that World Heavyweight Championship on the line to Death Machine against Tessa Blanchard, and Tessa becomes the champion, man. She wins. the first woman to become the TNA World's Heavyweight Champion, the Impact World Champion.
Oh.
Well, we'll save Nico for the main event of this topic. So, Roberto Davis, you, sir, hit me. What were your thoughts?
I actually watched that live, and I was it's a rare occasion that this happened. I had no words. I was just like, what the hell just happened? They really did it. Fuck. that was really all I had at that moment.
Well, like Road Warrior Hawk once said, I think for me, I was kind of like Robert. I'm like, oh wow, they're actually doing this. Like, ha! So they're actually doing this. Ha! I'm gonna pick a woman the champion. Ha! So I'm gonna make some booking decisions. So Tessa gets the win. Good match. Like I said, her and Sammy have always had great chemistry. Sammy is so underrated. But yeah, it was what it was. I understood the direction. I understood the where we were going here. But Nicola, what were your thoughts on Tessa becoming the first woman to become World Heavyweight Champion in TNA?
A load of bullshit. That should never have happened. Not in a lifetime should that. If it had been anyone else, I don't think I would have cared. If it was Rosemary, Havoc, if it was Sue Young, any other person, or I've only just named all the demons then. So I do like other wrestlers, by the way, but are the main ones from there that I am like glued to. But anyway, no, she should never have done that. And whoever decided in creative to go, you know what, let's do this, should have been high or fucking slapped straight away, because that was just disappointing and it was fucking mental. And Sammy should have hit it with that stick a couple more times, but just throwing that out there as well. You know, he did have that. Was it the bat he was using at the time?
Yeah, she was using the bat that busted open Eddie Edwards' fucking eye.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, I do remember.
Everybody thought he killed Eddie.
Goddamn son of a bitch! I would never book Sammy fucking Callahan.
I did see an interview with him, like when they were talking about, like I think TNA, we talked about it with Rosemary, and I did it with Sammy as well, and he was saying about all of that stuff that actually never was meant to happen, but because of his character and everything, obviously he had to make it look legit, look real, and that he hated it and all that shit, and he said it was so horrible that he actually fucked with his head a little bit, because obviously all the world's going, you're this, you're that, and obviously he's, you know, back forwards,
they were on his.
They were brutal. I was like reading Twitter every day, and every day he was getting all this shit. And to be fair, they can fuck with anyone's mentality.
Yeah.
No matter who that is. So when he was interviewed after, and obviously years later, he was like, him and Eddie had talked about it, but it went wrong. And then obviously then he got punished for it because all the world went fucking mad about it. So yeah. But yeah, no, that should never have happened, and Tessa should have never got that, and I don't know why they did it. I was the same as him. What the fuck came out of my mouth? And then no, hell no, no, and then in the end I just sat there going, yeah, this is the end of that shit.
There was even some discourse about, like, what does this do for the men now? Like,
right,
a woman is your heavyweight champion. Like, what does that say about the men's division?
Why would you change that? Like you said, men's world champion, females world champion. That was the whole point. So why the fuck have we gone here, Tessa? Have a belt. Take it from Sammy. Fuck you. Take it from Sammy. Shove it up your ass, you dickhead.
So
whoever came up with that shit.
To go into Robert and your guys' point about social media and the interviews afterwards, like I remember, like I just did Jim Cornette with that son of a bitch, I would never booked him in Ring of Honor. And then Sammy's like, Jim, you booked me in Ring of Honor at the time. What are you talking about? And then had this whole thing about on Talk is Jericho, where he's like, you know what? I didn't do it. I didn't mean to do it. It's like it was what it was. Like you mentioned, like number one, accidents happen, but number two, it's like this poor fucking guy is just like getting this whole backlash, and it's like it was fucking accident, like stuff like that. I think
a lot of people don't actually realize that half the stuff they're doing, obviously, like with what Sammy did, these freak accidents do happen. All right, yes, sometimes clearly there are bad intentions with wrestlers, but he's not one of them. He's one of them that actually legit felt guilty and was constantly like really badly belittled. So it was like kind of not fair, but obviously he knew he made a mistake and he owned up to it. But the backlash was shit.
It was
real bad on him.
But at the same time, he leaned into it too and started,
of course he did,
adapting it to his persona, which it worked for him. And that's a good
thing. Yet to this day, we all still love him.
Absolutely.
And dude, he's 100%. Still killing it in TNA, and I'm loving his work. And I mean, We go.
I'd love to see him and Havoc as a team. You know, like obviously
Yes,
she's
the
doing the
husband
whole.
and
She's with
wife.
Rosemary. I'd love to see that. Like have her as maybe OVE. Well, obviously it's not OVE anymore, but him and her doing something, or put Sammy in with the demons. That could be quite scary because he's quite cray. So I've always wondered what that'd be like, seeing Sammy as like Havoc, if you know what I mean. Like her persona on him would be quite interesting.
Yeah,
I think.
I know I concur. And I mean, Sammy's run from his inception to now has been absolutely amazing. And then I mean, looking at the time period here, we go from Sammy losing that championship to Tessa, and Tessa would go on to defend against the likes of Jake Christ, who was in OV at the time, Baby Apache, who was in AAA, and they did a AAA match when they were in Mexico. Yeah, Baby Apache, yeah, and then she would defend against Taya and beat Taya, who had gone heel again at the time. And one of her last matches in TNA was her and Eddie Edwards challenging the North, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander for the tag team championships in a losing effort. And then after that losing effort, well, a certain thing happens called COVID. And, well, she's stuck in Mexico with her then husband, Daga, who are no longer
together. Daga's a legend.
Yep, who are no longer together because, well, she was a puta.
She's a dick.
She's with some other dude now and CMLL in Mexico. I don't know who he is, but I mean, he looks like a good wrestler, but whatever.
I wonder if she cheated on the other one as well.
Which one? Ricochet?
Yeah, I wonder if she cheated on him because she's cheated on Diego. You know, it kind of runs in a kind of, you know, lepers never change us, or cheaters never change our spots, do they? So, you know.
So pretty much what Tessa Blanchard is, she's like a walking R&B song for like people that are like upset with broken relationships. You're nothing but a lie, a cheater, a deceiver, a heartbreaker. So it was.
She's not one of Pete. Never mind, I'm not going there. Never mind, cut that one.
So this is where the controversial part of the show comes, folks, as we're having laughs and we're talking about wrestling. So Tessa Blanchard is stuck in Mexico with her then husband Daga. And, well, they want her to do a promo. Hey, Tessa, how about you do a promo? Because, I don't know, you're the champion. And she's like, no, not going to do it. Just going to keep the belt, hold it up here because, you know, I can't get back to the States. But she wouldn't do nothing. And then, you know, she's like, money. She's like, no, I'm not going to be there. And then TNA's like, well, go fuck you, Sunshine. Fuck that owl and fuck you, too. We're not going to have you around. And that ended Tessa Blanchard running TNA. So, your thoughts, Robert Davis, I'll start with you. Impact Wrestling. No, I'm not going to cut a promo. No, I will not take this championship. I will not put on my mask. I will stay in Mexico. What were your thoughts?
I mean, how hard is it to take your phone, hit play, and record something for 45 seconds? I mean, it's something we've all done here numerous times. It's not hard. Like, come on. Dude, you're the champion. You're the face of the brand. What's wrong with you? I mean, we know what's wrong with you. Just cut the fucking promo. Come on,
do something. And everybody's like, well, she can make it back. No, like she's stuck in Mexico, but she could have made an effort to like a promo to like heighten up the fact that I'm the champion and all this. Like with NXT UK, I'll make a comparison. You saw Walter doing promos. You saw Ilya Dragunov doing promos. Like they couldn't even wrestle, but they were at least highlighting and showcasing themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I got one for you, right?
Yeah.
So, like Robert just said, us three, we know how. I mean, in COVID, even we were creating our own promos. So she has no fucking excuse on how she could not pick up a phone, like you just said. Press record. It's not as if she has to be creative either. All she had to do was literally put her face up, hold up the belt, do her bullshit. What was so important that she couldn't fucking say no to it? Seriously, even in COVID, like we had all kinds of things going on. Other people were cutting promos. Like they did that whole fucking with Bray Wyatt and all of that with John Cena. They did all of that in COVID, but you can't sit there with a fucking phone. Really? Ugh. Yeah, no, she shouldn't even have had that belt in the first place. Especially to go, no, I'm not doing it.
And I mean,
Shut the fuck up. You're a fully grown adult.
And even if
what
it
was no,
even if it was like a money thing,
sounds
too,
like a petty fucking child. That's what she sounds like.
Right. And even if it was a money thing too, it's just like you want this amount, and it's just like no, like no.
That's what I mean. She's getting paid a shitload of money to hold a title that she's refusing to do anything for. Get the fuck out of here.
And if you remember, like on Instagram, she had posted photos like I'm at the beach, and I'm like, you're at the fucking beach, but you got a fucking promo.
Got a fucking promo.
Got a fucking promo.
45 seconds. That's all you need.
I'm the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and I can't wait to come back to the States and defend this championship. Done. Done.
I'm a fighting champion, and I can't wait to get back home and fight for this belt and show you what it's all about.
You know, during these tough times, Impact Wrestling has looked to put on the best product for each and every one of you, and I can't wait to come back.
3 promos in.
We just did 3 promos for you in 30 seconds.
12 seconds.
Oh, but other stuff would happen.
She's like a walking headache. She is, I swear to God. She's a walking, fucking, talking headache.
She just wanted to hang with her amigos down in Mexico.
No, she's just a pooter.
She is a pooter.
You already said it.
Look, and I know she's done some nice things for people outside of all that, but I'm just like, yo.
Like who? Herself?
Well, I mean, I know she's been very nice to kids, is what I'm saying. That I'm cool with, but
yeah,
still doesn't, you know.
Do you know when I really did like her? When she was a body double in the film that was based around Paige.
Oh yeah,
that movie. She was the wrestler that did. That was she was Jade's, or the one who played Jade, Paige's body double, or the actual wrestler that was in it. Yeah. And I actually liked her for doing that because I was like, oh, cool, she's pretty cool. But then she goes and does.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, she was the main. Yeah, they were the 2 main wrestlers who imitated Paige in it. So when they were training, but I didn't until I saw an interview because obviously it was based in the UK. So of course, you know, I'm gonna watch that stuff.
Yeah.
Zelina Vega was AJ Lee.
Yeah, she was AJ Lee. I remember that.
Yeah, and apparently, Mrs. Arsehole was Paige's Paige. So yeah, or the wrestler that was imitating the person that played Paige.
Right, but the thing too the thing too to add to that, my goodness, the thing to add to that with Tessa is like she had always there was like a lot of stuff also coming around this time. Like I'm going to say this because Wow Women of Wrestling is headed by David McLean, the man behind the original Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling that you've seen in the 80s and the Netflix series is based on. And I'm like, Dave McLean, who's had not a problem with anybody, and you get fired from Wow, who has brought up a lot of great people in towns that have worked there. One of the most civil, easiest place to work with. And you get fired. For those that don't know, she was one of the trainers there. And again, it comes back to attitude problems, magma, the attitude problems that she had. And pretty much, I'm going to put it to you like this, because Robert mentioned Blanchard, the name Blanchard here. And my guess is she was very old school in her training. And she was very, you know, like how Tully and how you would train people back in the 80s, like no nonsense. And well, a lot of those girls were not prude to that, and they didn't want to be privy to that because it's like, no, go fuck yourself. I mean, hello, Drew Gulak. I'm looking at you now with what happened at NXT, current day, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. But Tessa Blanchard, yeah, it's like you can't be bullying and talking shit to these people. She got fired from WoW. She got fired from TNA. Nobody, AEW didn't want you. WWE didn't want you. We don't want you. We don't want you no more. Like it's the Jacksons and American Dream. We had so many people that just did not want Tessa Blanchard around. And then the fucking story comes out that on a AAA show, La Rosa Negra was called the N-word. And Chelsea Green said it. Yes. Friggin' Britt Baker said it. Renee Michelle said it.
Didn't Sienna mention something?
Sienna. Yes, Sienna.
Yeah.
And it's like, bitch, you suck. You're a horrible person.
That's why I hate her so much. I mean, I liked her to start with, but then to use that, drop the M-bomb. No, fuck you. What the fuck is wrong with you? You jealous piece of shit.
And just to go to say, I didn't say that. You've got 5 ladies saying that you did.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
But no, I didn't say it. I promise. You got, like you said, 5 of them saying yes, you did.
Not looking good for you there.
Yeah.
And I mean, in a day and age with social media, and all right, now this is going to be the shocker because this did happen, folks. Those 2 made up years later. There was a photo that surfaced on Twitter of her and La Rosa Negra just smiling, taking a photo. Everything was hunky dory now. What were your thoughts of them making up?
That's
fake.
That's
good.
It was for the picture.
It wasn't
real.
It was Photoshop.
Photoshop.
It was AI. God damn it.
You know, we spent the better portion of the show trashing Tessa, and just that one. specific moment actually showed some growth and maturity, and I think that's a step in the right direction. Something as humans that we all want to strive for, something that we all want to see each other do, is
Yeah.
come to a sense of maturity and grow and learn from your mistakes, which hopefully Tessa has.
Well, we're going to play that audio in a second, but Nikla, with your fakeness, I'm down with the fakeness, DTF, and not the F doesn't stand for something else. In this instance, it says stands for fake. What were your thoughts on that photo?
Fake, photoshopped. No, because obviously I don't know, because the other thing is that picture could have been taken years before and just been put up then. So that's why I'm saying fake, but I think that was only done because then she was trying to prove a point that I didn't say this didn't happen, look, we're friends. That was the only reason that was put up. But like you said, and Robert just said, we have spent the best part of this whole show trashing Tessa, but I do hope that she does get better with herself and sorts the shit out and kind of comes back to reality a little bit.
I think
And
for
not
me,
being this petty arsehole that she's been or has been.
well, yes, and I mean we've talked about. I mean she has done a lot of work with kids, which praise, and her maturing with La Rosa Negra, praise. Her in ring work, praise, because she. There's no denying that. But a lot of her run was her being a biatch, and well, that brings us to biatch. That brings us to an interview that did come out, and I'm about to play this for my people up in here. So Tessa Blanchard did an interview in 2023, and here's a small clip of her breaking the silence about everything that happened over the past few years. This was recorded last year in 2023. Here's a 30-second sample. Y'all ready to hear this? Y'all ready for this?
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
The way that I think about it looking back now, because I've grown a lot from everything that I've been through the past 3 years, because it's been tough, is like mentally, it was challenging, but nothing's ever going to be thrown at me that I'm not strong enough to handle. Right? Like God, this life, they're going to throw things at me that I am strong enough to handle. There are going to be a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations, but I've got to navigate my way mentally, physically, emotionally to be able to get through it and to grow from it, right? Every person that you meet, every friendship, every relationship, every circumstance, you should be able to take something and learn from it for like whatever's next in life.
Y'all thoughts?
98% of those problems, those trials, those tribulations, you caused yourself.
Take responsibility for what you did and admit that you fucked up and then move on from that. Same as all humans, we all try to do when we all know we fucked up. We always make sure that you learn and you grow from it. It's that simple. That's that shitty thing called life that we all have to deal with every day.
Yeah, there's that wrestling fan in me. You fucked up. You fucked up. You
fucked up.
No,
you fucked up.
You fucked up. No, but
you fucked up.
But I think if she, again, that's why I say I listen to that. I'm like, okay, we're starting to get some growth.
She seemed humble.
Yeah,
she did seem humble in that, and she seemed a bit more. What's the right word? Not as she ever come across before. It was more like she's. I don't know. Maybe she has matured a little bit.
There's some sincerity.
Like I said, humble. Yeah, I can't really disrespect her for that one.
No, not really. At all.
And I'll be nice. So yeah.
I know. Well, I'll be nice.
Even if it is demon hour here.
But I think as long as she stays on that right trajectory and path, I think she'll be fine. So with that being said, before we put a bow on this episode, we hope we've entertained you with our puta selves and whatnot. But the overall trajectory and general consensus of Tessa Blanchard, what were your thoughts on her career, and do you want to see her in a major company again, or do you keep her in CMLL? I'll start with you on this one, Nikla. We'll start with the lady first. Go ahead.
I want to see her thrive, and I want her to, as much as obviously I was being a bit hatred at the same time, I do want to see her come back, but I think she's better off where she is right now. I think it's a good idea to put her up in the bigger like say TNA or WWE, AEW, anything like that right now. I think she still needs to work on herself a little bit before she does come back in and start doing what she does, which is being amazing in the ring. Like we said, can't disrespect that in any way, but she's got to be a bit more grown up than what she has been.
Roberto?
Think things through.
Yeah, I 100% agree that there has been some growth, which is always a good thing. I think she's doing well where she's at now. There's always potential for her to come back into an American promotion, as long as those American promotions are around. And I don't think any of them are going anywhere for a while. But as much as we've trashed on her during the show, I think it's a general consensus amongst the three of us that we do want to see her thrive, and we do want to see her have success and, you know, live her best life, regardless of what she's done. Just with the mindset that she's learned and grown and matured, and you know, can just be the best version of herself.
Agreed wholeheartedly. I will add to that. Do we want to see her like Alberto El Patron work in the high school gyms, or Conan's like, I'm gonna bring him back to AAA, baby?
Boy, wow.
Do I want to see her
that
like
sounded
Alberto?
so dodgy the way you put that. Alberto Patron in kids' gyms. What the hell?
No, the high school gyms.
That's cool.
His brother.
Oh, yeah, it just sounded really funny. Sorry, that was my dodgy mind. Carry on.
No, Tessa's done the rinky-dink independence in the States here too, but that's like the ones that will book her.
That's cool. That's cool. It's just his name, maybe, but that was it. It was that.
Well, Conan, the originator of Suck My Dick from the Back. No, Chris. So the fact that we have Conan is like, I'll book Alberto in AAA, but I won't book her because Daga's in AAA, so she's going to go to the predecessor, CMLL, the competition in Mexico. I think she's done an amazing job there. I think her run in TNA was, you know, well done until the end. But I think with her, all you can wish for her is nothing but continued success and to thrive and to learn, adapt, and grow. And I think that's what we all want. And that's all we can really hope for. I mean, her AEW match, I enjoyed the Fatal 4-Way. What I want to see her in AEW, well, with how Tony Khan brings in everybody, we might. I want to sign you. I love you. It's
your dad worked for me.
Oh my god. I just realised what you two were fucking talking about. Yeah, good point. I forgot about that.
Your dad works for me. I work for you.
Fuck's sake.
I was expecting that. Okay. So
welcome back, Jack Terry.
Well, he's going to be coming up on a future episode, so I'm glad you mentioned that. So as we put a bow on this.
Welcome back.
as we put a bow on this, Tessa Blanchard, continue to thrive and strive and grow and grind, and we wish you nothing but the best, even though we did take some pot shots, but we do want to see her grow, as we do with everybody. So the next episode,
stay off the demons list, Tessa.
Do not go for Rosemary.
Don't want to. Yeah,
don't do it.
No. Yeah, don't go for Rosemary. Even though, like you just said, I'm going to say this as well, because obviously I've done most of the hate and most of the dissing at her. I do wish you nothing but love and respect and hope you grow. I'm not actually as no, I am, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I'm
you are.
You are. I am. I'm nasty and horrible. Don't worry. But no, I do wish nothing but love, and I hope that you grow and you carry on being successful. But don't be a dick about it next time.
and with that being said, our next episode is going to be even more fun because we have a couple of things I'll discuss, and there's a couple of them that y'all don't even know about, and I'll tell it to these two because I like the element of surprise. Here we go. So our next episode is going to be another superstar spotlight, much like we did here today, but there'll be more happiness here. We're going to be talking about the careers from their TNA tenures to WWE and whatnot. We're going to be talking about Killer Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux, baby. And we're going to talk about the debuts of Killer Kross in TNA and Scarlett Bordeaux, You Ain't Nothing But a 5 in TNA. And we're going to talk about their run in WWE. We are going to talk about the goddamn helmet that Karrion Kross wore on the friggin'. We're going to put him in a helmet, goddammit. We're going to talk about that on here. And we're going to talk about the Final Testament. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. And then after that, we're going to talk about the many faces of Su Yung. We're going to talk about each and every face. We're even going to talk about her going against that goddamn Madison Rayne, which I will be going off my rock and I can't wait. And then we're going to be actually looking at some matches. I found an obscure match we're going to talk about, and then we're going to get into some more matches. I figure we'll react to them. So we're going to watch Jeff Hardy versus Tetsuya Naito from New Japan in 2011 for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Yes, that Naito.
I saw that. I remember that one. I think.
All right.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
We're going to watch it. So there's a lot of great stuff coming up here on Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling. And there will also be some predictions because, Christian's got to talk about Swerve's daughter. And, well, it wouldn't be Christian if he wasn't talking about a family member. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be doing some predictions once we get towards AEW Double or Nothing. So a lot of stuff coming up content-wise, and I'm very appreciative to have y'all by my side and y'all listening. So with that being said, Roberto Davis, I want to put also a thing out here. Robert and I did an LFC watch-along of Gemma Giuliana's matches, and that is now in the VIP section. And that is now in the VIP section of the LFC website. So for all VIPers, if you want to see this face and that face, do the damn thing in our sausage party vibes. We in there like swimwear. So Robert Davis, where can we follow you on the social media fronts? Promote Kicking It with the TSK, promote your stuff, and bang that drum.
So I do have another podcast with the boys, Kicking It with the TSK. We recently just dropped an episode, our review of the AEW pay-per-view Dynasty. Go check that out on the Max Wrestling YouTube page. That's where you can find all things Kicking It with the TSK. We also do have an Instagram and a Facebook and Twitter, and I believe we have a TikTok that is up and running now. Linktree. Do I? Okay, so we do.
Mm-hmm.
Confirmed by the Demon, and I trust the Demon confirmation. Linktree / Kicking It KITW1. I think I gotta follow up with the Linktree on that one. For me, my personal social media Linktree / Hey It's Rob. If you can't find any Kicking It with the TSK, you can definitely find it there. So follow.
Alrighty, I will add to that. What was the name of that YouTube channel that y'all are on with Kicking It with the TSK? What was that YouTube channel?
The Max Wrestling podcast, I think.
Fair enough. So that link will be in the description for that as well. Check out Kicking It with the TSK. Watch Robert Davis bang that drum and play his instruments. Look at me. I can play my instruments. Why don't you play the recorder, for God's sake, like every kid in elementary school? Just start playing that recorder again, you son of a bitch. Anyway, I digress. So, I'm going to play the recorder now. So, Nicola McDonald, where can we follow you? Where can we follow you on all forms of social media? Go.
Oh God, this is always interesting because I actually have to add something, which normally I don't. Normally it's just obviously just me doing me and not doing much. But obviously the Demoness did appear recently when she decided to help Teddy become the new champion of Max. You know what that's about, Teddy. So yeah, that. Also the Max Wrestling Football podcast. I've been appearing on there every now and then with Moses, Chad and Bear and chatting UK football, which has been quite cool. Yeah, there we go. And obviously, yeah, that's all on Max Wrestling as well. So yeah, go check that out. Where can you find me? In hell, as always. Just look down, just summon me, just don't go near any mirrors and play with any candles because that's never safe. But whatever, your choice.
Don't summon her between the hours of 7 and 8.
So now basically don't be playing with mirrors and candles around this time of night. Right, yeah, you can find me at Nicola Mac 853 or is that it? Did I get it right for once? Jesus.
Got it.
Yes, at long last. Yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, Demoness on there, as what I just said, and that's about it, isn't it? Because I can't remember my Instagram one for the life of me.
The Demoness. You can check out Demoness on Instagram.
There we go.
Demoness yeah.
Demoness on Twitter as well. On Instagram. Jesus Christ.
Instagram,
Facebook.
Twitter.
I don't put Facebook up there anymore because I rarely use it. I only ever use it for messaging now.
Yeah, I think I'm going
to talk to you two lovely people. To talk to you two every day and honk both of you and kill everybody. Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody dies.
Everybody dies. I think I'm going to go kill somebody now. So more episodes of Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling coming at you soon with many superstar spotlights, match reviews, and predictions, and more fun topics from the three of us. And my name is Mike Larkin. For the Blackhearts, Robert Davis and Nicola McDonald. Tessa, you're all right.
You're all right.
You're all right. Yeah, you're all right.
I think we're going to close the show now. All right, we'll see you guys next time.